We are going to get into Drake. Like, Drake has gone full blown Karen. I can't even begin to explain the levels of caring. Is that even a word? That Drake has gone through. We're also going to get into, sorry, my phone is tripping. We're also going to get into his beef that we're just kind of finding out about with Houston Rockets player Dillon Brooks. Spoiler alert, it is over a woman, naturally. And we're going to get into a couple of other things. Drake, we know he has things with women that he talks about in his music, and we know he's petty. A lot of the things that are connected to this beef, not specifically with Kendrick, but with some of the other people involved, allegedly have things to do with him trying to go after someone's baby's mom or things of that nature. Well, Drake has actually been beefing with a basketball player, and he has been an NBA player, excuse me, not just a basketball player. He's been talking about it in his music. So, Houston Rockets player Dillon Brooks, he was with the Memphis Grizzlies, and I think he spent some time with the Toronto Raptors, which is where this beef initiated. Dillon is an agitator as well. They were messing with the same girl. She's an Instagram baddie. Her name is Baby M. Beautiful, but a scammer. And not allegedly, she was arrested and served jail time for some type of fraud. It involved credit cards in Oklahoma. And Drake allegedly paid her restitution, which was $675,000, bought her a G Wagon, and did all of these things. Oh, but while Drake was doing this, he even went as far as, and this is according to DJ Academics and some others. There's some photo and video evidence that you can match up from Instagram and timelines. This is a young lady that Drake has shown on his Instagram. But what happened allegedly was while she was dealing with Drake and Drake was paying for her lawyer fees, he even got, well, this is true because he talked about it on a podcast with Little Yachty. He dressed up in prosthetics. He got a Hollywood special effects person to put on makeup to make him look like an old man so that he could go to court and support this young lady as she was being convicted of some type of fraud. And like I said, $675,000 was her restitution. Drake paid that. So he dropped a couple of M's on this young lady. So come to think of it, when we were talking about Bernice Burgos the other day and questioning if she could make $30,000 in a night, she used to date Drake. He probably would have done that. Those are the type of things that he does. At any rate, the lady was messing with Dillon, allegedly, and Drake. And so Drake started dropping subs to Dillon in his songs, crashing out, naming him, saying things. On one album, I think it is on the For All the Dogs album, he went as far as, I guess it was a conversation that he secretly recorded of Baby M. And he played it as an interlude on the album, and she talks about it. She talks about the fact that when he flew her out, he didn't fly her first class. He had her in coach. He said that there was no first class available, and she was very upset because when she got on the plane, there was tons of first class seats, and she had to walk to the back. And she said that, I guess they were in Jamaica. She said all they had every day was jerk chicken and oxtails, but the oxtails were fire. I'm serious. It's an interlude. And she talks about Dillon. And she also mentions that Dillon went through her phone. So maybe he got sick seeing the messages from Drake. And so Drake was big dogging Dillon. And there's a few songs where it's mentioned and he was dropping millions on this young lady. I'm not sure if they're still together now, but that is what his situation was with Dillon Brooks. So, Drake crashes out all of the time in these type of fashions. Meanwhile, we know Kendrick has gone to number one yet again. And 7 of the songs on the album are in the top 10. And he surpassed the predictions for the album. Initially, they thought he would do about 250,000. He ended up selling, I think, 356,000, somewhere in that area. And I think the physical copies was somewhere like 10,000. The streams were like 250,000 by themselves. And there were some other numbers in there. So clearly, far and away, people are feeling this album, maybe just on the West Coast, because I have seen a lot of East Coast bias related to this. And I feel like, why are you hating?